Shalom, Israel. I want to start by saying all praise to the Most High God and His Son, Jesus Christ. In Hebrew, all praise to the Most High Yah and His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. I hope all y'all had a wonderful Sabbath and a day of rest. Enjoyed your time with the Father. Now, today my lesson is called A Mighty Nation. All right? This is for the newcomers who don't know all about Israel, for the ones who already been in the truth. I hope we have some fun today with this lesson. All right. It's called A Mighty Nation. So I want to start with Exodus 15, verse 2. The Lord is my strength and song. He has become my salvation. He is my Yah, and I will prepare him a habitation. My father is Yah, and I will exalt him. Verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. So this for y'all newcomers. Y'all think God is all love and peaches and cream. Now I'm going to read that again one more time. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. All right. So his name is the man of war. All right. So I want to go something for y'all newcomers who don't know a description of God. All right. So I'm going to go to Daniel. This is our forefather Daniel. So Daniel was in a vision. He saw a vision of the heavens. It opened up. So Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. That's when all the nations in the inner world is going to crash down. In the Ancient of Days, that is God, Abba, the I Am, did sit, whose garment was white as snow. So he had a garment white as snow. I mean, he had on clothes. And the hair of his head was like pure wool. Pure wool is the sheep hair, nappy. I'm gonna say the father had nappy hair. He has the beautifulest hair on planet. So, but it was the hair of sheep. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels a burning fire. Fire. So like it, Israel. So once again, his throne's a flaming fire. That don't sound like this God that gave us who are rainbows in heaven. Like, no, his throne got fire on it, Israel. That's how you gotta know what kind of God you serve, Israel. All right? I'm gonna go to Judges. Go to Judges 16. All right, so like I said, the lesson is called A Mighty Nation. So I'm gonna give you a little background how we are a mighty nation. So this is Samson. He's one of the mightiest kings we had from the tribe of Dan. All right. So this story is a real good story. I'm just gonna say this quick part, but go back to Judges 14 and read the whole story. All right. So Samson, he was a mighty king who was saving Israel from the Philistines, but he got caught up in some situation with a woman from another nation, which he shouldn't have been doing. And the other nation woman found out some powers he had. I'm not gonna give you too much information, but he ended up getting in trouble with the Philistines, and they got him captured. And this is the scene right here. That's all I'm gonna say. So go back and read Judges 14 to here to get the whole story, y'all. It's a mighty story, all right? Samson, he wasn't nothing to play with, all right? So we're gonna start at verse 28. And Samson called unto the Lord and said, O Lord Yah, remember me, I pray thee, strengthen me, I pray thee only this once. O Yah, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my two eyes. So he's saying, avenge me, Father, for my two eyes, because when they captured him, they took out his two eyes. All right. And Samson took hold of the two middle pillars upon which the house stood. So it's like a coliseum with like the big old concrete poles thing, you know what I'm talking about, on which it was borne upon, and of the one with his right hand, and of the other with his left. And Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. So he's talking to God. Abba, let me die with these Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. That's a lot of people he killed in that one time. Because one time he killed, I think, 10,000, something like that, with a jawbone. So that had to be at least more than 10,000 Israel. That's a powerful king we had, all right? Samson was a mighty king, you know what I mean? He just fell short like the rest of us did. But the father let him go out like a G. It's all right. I'm going to kill you for breaking my commandments, but I'll let you take out these heathens with you. That's a beautiful story, Israel. All right, go back and read it. It's a mighty, mighty story. It's gonna give you the strength that we need. Okay. So now we go to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel chapter 22. So 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 1. So this is our King David, another mighty king Israel. So I'm going to start at verse 1. And David spake unto the Lord the words this song in the day that the Lord had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. All right. So I'm going to jump down to verse 33. So you can get who's saying this. I'm going to start at verse 1. All right. Yah is my strength and power. So this is our King David, a mighty king. He said, Yah is my strength and power. He making my way perfect. So he making his ways perfect. But once again, I want you to pay attention to what he said. Yah is my strength and power, Israel. Okay? That was something very serious you need to pay attention to. So I'm going to give you a little characteristics of King David real quick. Show you how mighty our King David was, our forefather. So now we're going to go to Psalms. So we're going to Psalms 18. Give you a little minute for y'all to catch up. I'm going to try to not go so fast. For the newcomers who trying to write it down, I advise you to write it down. Even for the ones who already been in the truth, write down these scriptures and get your strength back, Israel. You got to remember we are a mighty nation, okay? So I'm going to start back at Psalms 18, verse 29. For by thee I have run through a troop. So this is King David. He says, I ran through a troop. A troop is at least over 1,000 people. And by my Yah have I leaped over a wall. He jumped over a wall, Israel. If I went to that scripture first, he said, and power, Israel. He leaped over a wall. He maketh my feet, verse 33, I'm going to go to 33. He maketh my feet like hinds feet. I mean, he's running super fast, Israel, and setting me upon high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by my arms. So a bow of steel was broken by King David. Arms, Israel. That is power. But who did he get the power from? God, Abba. He told you where the power comes from. It comes from our Father. All right? So we are a mighty nation, but don't get it twisted. You better know where that power comes from. Go to Psalms 28. 28, verse 7. So we're going to go to Psalms chapter 28, verse 7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him. I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth. And with my song will I praise him. Okay? The Lord is their strength. So the Lord is our strength. He is the saving strength of his anointed. So he saved his anointed. All right? The Father tells you, I'm your strength. I got you. Now I'm going to go to Psalms 37. Go to Psalms 37, verse 39. All right? So we're going to Psalms chapter 37, verse 39. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. This is a very important scripture you better pay attention to, Israel. But the salvation of the righteous, that means the obedient, those ones who keep his commandments, is of the Lord. He is their strength, those who are obedient in the time of trouble. And the Lord should help them and deliver them. He should deliver them from the wicked, that's the other nations, and save them because they trust in him. So one, you got to be obedient. And two, you have to trust in him. You have to have faith in your Father, Israel. All right? going to go to Psalm 68. I'm going to go to Psalm 68, verse 35. Psalm 68, verse 35. Oh, Yah, thou art terrible out of the holy places. So another thing for y'all newcomers. God, Abba, Most High, whatever you want to call him, he is terrible. Y'all hear this? Terrible, Israel. Oh, Yah, thou art terrible out of the holy places. The Yah of Israel, he hath given strength and power unto his people. Blessed be Yah. Y'all hear that? He gives strength and power to his people. What kind of people? The righteous ones, the obedient. All right? It's how important to be obedient to the Father. He gives you strength and power. So now we're going to go to Psalms 140. Verse 7, I think. Yeah, verse 7. So I'm going to Psalms chapter 140, verse 7. Psalms chapter 140, verse 7. O Yah, the Lord, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. So I like this scripture says, cover thy head. That means he's protecting you in the day of battle. So the Father is with you in the day of battle. He's your cover. Okay? I'm going to go to Proverbs 10, verse 29. All right, so we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 10, verse 29. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright. Hear that? The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, Israel. That means the righteous, obedient. But destruction should be to the workers of iniquity. So that's destruction to the 2/3, to the ones who don't want to be obedient. They're disobedient. He doesn't fight for the disobedient. He only fights for the upright, the righteous. All right? Now I'm going to go to a story. I love this story. This story is really funny. You got to pay attention, Israel. All right? We're going to do some reading. So bear with me, Israel. But this is a beautiful story you need to hear. Okay? So we all seen the movie 300, or most of us have. A lot of y'all newcomers, y'all didn't even know that was actually in the Bible. All right? So I'm going to give you the real story of 300. I mean, not that fake stuff they put in the movies. All right? So Judges chapter 7, verse 1. Then Jeroboam, who's Gideon, this is Gideon, is a mighty king of Israel. I think he's from the tribe of Manasseh. I could be wrong, but I think he's from the tribe of Manasseh. That's the Cubans today. All right? And all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Herod, so that the host of the Medians were on the north side of them, by the hill Morah in the valley. All right? So they're coming to fight against Israel. And the Lord said to Gideon, the Lord that are with thee are too many. Salakia, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give to the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, my own hand has saved me. So God told Gideon, Yah, he said, the people are with you, that's too many people. Because they're going to think they got the power. I don't want that many people. So we already probably got, I think we got like 10,000, something like that. We already had a low number. And Most High was like, nah, that's too many. We're going to find out. Now therefore go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. So it said, go to ones who say they scared to fight, because it was a lot of heathens, like thousands, 120,000 plus more, right? And our Israelites, we was a small number. So there was like, whoever go to them asking who afraid, let them go back to their house. And their return of the people, 20 in 2000. 22,000 got up out of it. I was like, I'm out of here. Our people dipped. They was like, oh, you tripping. Get in, you on some other stuff, bro. There's 100, 200,000 of them. There's only 30, 40,000 of us. I'm gone. So they dipped. And there remained 10,000. So it was 32,000. So they got up out of there. 22 was like, nah, I got a wife and kids. Yeah, getting you on some other stuff, bro. That means they ain't have no faith, Israel. Yeah, I laughed, but it really wasn't funny because they didn't have faith. All right, and go back down where we at. So I like it. And the Lord said to Gideon, my bad, verse 5. So like, my bad, I got sidetracked. Verse 4. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many, bring them down to the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it should be that of whom I say unto thee, this should go with thee, the same should go with thee. And whomsoever I say unto thee, this should not go with thee, the same should not go. So he said, take those 10,000 and bring them down to the water. And who the ones I pick, they going to go with you. And the other ones, send them back to their house. So he brought down the people into the water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, everyone that leapeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog leapeth, him shall thou set beside himself. Likewise, everyone that bowed down upon his knees to drink. So say you have to leap, you have to like bend over and like, I don't know, use your hands, drink the water, something like that. But if you bow down, so there's two different things you have to drink the water. And the number of them that leapt, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. So 300 men, like bent over, used their hands and drank the water. But the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink the water. So they got on their knees and drank the water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that leapt will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thy hand. Let all the other people go, every man to his place. So that was 10,000. So that means only 300 got it. So 9,700 had to go back home. And they was probably mad because they wanted to fight. I mean, they had the faith in the Father, but the Father was like, "Nah, that's too many. I don't need that many people." You be thinking like, how is this possible? You know what I mean? You got to stop for a minute. Just think about it. There's at least 120,000 of these other nations, and they coming to kill us. And we had 32,000, and we were scared to fight, and 22,000 left. And then he brought 10,000 to the water. It was like, all right, whoever does this right, I'm gonna keep. And there's only 300 doing right. So how's 300 people who finna beat thousands of people? So we're gonna find out. So like Israel. So the people took so like I'm getting caught up. This is one of my favorite stories, my bad. So I'm gonna go back to verse 7. And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that leapt, I will save you, and deliver the Medians into thy hand. Let all the other people go, every man to his own place. So the people took victuals in their hand, and their trumpets, and he sent all the rest of Israel, every man to his tent, and retained those the 300 men. So he only kept the 300 men. And the host of Midian was beneath him in the valley. So they was coming for him in all type of directions. And it came to pass that same night that the Lord said unto him, arise, get thee down into the host, for I have delivered it into thy hand. So he says, go down and get ready to fight them. I put them in your hands. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Pharaoh thy servant down to the host. So get your servant. And thou shalt hear what they say. And afterward thou shalt thy hands be strengthened to go down to the host. So Mosiah said, your hands going to be strengthened to go to the host. Then went he down with Pharaoh his servant to the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of East lay along the valley like grasshoppers for multitude. So they like crouched down, hiding. And their camels were without number, as the sand by the seaside of the multitude. So they had animals, all types of things. You can't even number. So it's only 300 against all these things with the animals. All these people with the animals. This ain't adding up, Israel, but you're going to find out why it don't add up. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, said, behold, I have dreamed a dream. And lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled in the host of Midian, and came into a tent, and smote it, that it fell, and overturned it, that the tent along lay along. And his fellow answered, and said, this is nothing else save the sword of Gideon the son of Jaish, a man of Israel. For unto his hand hath God delivered Midian and all the hosts. All right. So the dream is like, oh yeah, this is Gideon. They knew the dream means that Gideon was going to beat up the Medians. And it was so when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned into the host of Israel, and said, arise, for the Lord hath delivered into your hand the host of Midian. So he got his strength, he got his confidence, like, all right, I heard this dream, y'all. We about to get it in, bro. The Most High said someone gonna deliver in our hands. They had faith that they was gonna be delivered into their hands. And he divided the 300 men into three companies, and he put a trumpet in every man's hand, with empty pitchers and lamps with pitchers. And he said unto them, Look on me and do likewise. So whatever I do, you do the same thing. And behold, when I come to the house of the camp, it should be that as I do, so you should do. So he was like, follow after what I do. All right. When I blow with a trumpet, I and all that are with me, only 300 of them, then blow ye the trumpets also on every side of the camp, and say the sword of the Lord came in of Gideon. So they had to blow the trumpet and say the sword of the Lord in of Gideon. You had to make sure to first say the sword of the Lord. That means you better understand this power coming from the Father. In of Gideon, because Gideon had the power too at the moment. So Gideon, 100 men that were with him, came to outside the camp in the beginning of the middle watch, and they had but newly set the watch, and they blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers that were in their hands. And the three companies blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their hands, and the trumpets in their right hands, to blow withal. And they cried. So they cried, I mean they screamed, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp. And all the hosts ran and cried and fled. So when they screamed that, the mother nation got up out of here, y'all. They dipped. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow, even though throughout all the hosts. And the hosts fled to Bethashi and Zerah, and the border of Elamako and the Tabah. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce these words. My bad, Israel. And the men of Israel gathered themselves together out of Naphtali, and out of Asher, and out of all Manasseh. So Naphtali is the Chileans today, the Argentinas, those are people. Asher, things Colombians, something like that. So it ain't all just black Israel. The Hispanics is our people too. And of Manasseh, that's the Cubans. And pursued after the Midianites. And Gideon sent messengers throughout all Mount Ephraim, that's the Puerto Ricans, saying, Come down against the Midians, and take before them the waters to Bethshah and to Jordan. Then all the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together, and took the waters to Bethel and Jordan. And they took two princes of the Midianites, so they took them captives, Orbar and Zeb. And they slew Orbar upon the rock Obed and Zeb. They slew at the winepress of Zobed. So they was killing a lot of people. Winepresses, blood everywhere. And pursued Midian, and brought the heads of Orab and Zebed to Gideon on the other side of Jordan. So they cut off his head and brought it to Gideon, like, here you go. That's some gangster stuff, Israel. Like I said, it was a mighty nation. Cutting off their heads and brought it to Gideon. Like, here go their heads of the kings or the princes of Midianites. All right? So that was a story right there. I like that story. That's the real 300. The real 300 is in the Bible, Israel, not that fake movie. All right? It's you. We were the 300. So now I'm going to go to Isaiah. Isaiah 37, verse 14. So this is Isaiah chapter 37, verse 14. I'm going to give you a little background on this story. This is King Hezekiah, a righteous king, obedient king. He listened to the Father, right? Well, Israel was in trouble again. The king of Assyria, something like that. They was coming and they was killing all these other nations, killing burning their gods, and they was coming to Israel, right? And Hezekiah was telling people, don't be afraid. The Most High was going to have us. But then the king of Syria told him, don't listen to Hezekiah. He's going to deceive you. He's going to get you killed, believing in that faith God. So the king of Syria didn't believe in the true power of Israel. So that was just a little background on it. So Isaiah 37, verse 14. Hezekiah received a letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up into the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. So y'all got to get this scene, Israel. We can't read this fast. So the king of Syria wrote a letter talking crap, right? And Hezekiah took the letter and went on a housetop and spread it towards the sky. You got to understand what's really have to go down, okay? And Hezekiah prayed unto the Lord, saying, O Lord of hosts, Yah of Israel, that dwellest between the cherubims, thou art the Yah, even thou alone, and all the kingdoms of the earth because he the power of all the kingdoms of the earth. Don't get it twisted. He our God, but he rule all nations. All the heathens are ruled by our Father. Thou hast made heaven and earth. He made heaven and earth. Incline thy ear, O Lord. So I like it because back then we wasn't too bold, but we was speaking to the Father like he was really our Father. Like, incline thy ear, like, we need you to listen up, Daddy. All right, Father, we need you to listen up right now. Incline thy ear, O Lord, and hear. Open thy eyes. So we're like, hey, just in case you up there asleep, we need your eyes open, Abba. Open thy eyes, O Lord, and see. Here are the words of Shenibia, which have sent reproach to living Yah. All right. So he's like, hey, Abba, they down here talking junk about you. They trying to say you ain't real. So he was really telling the Father, hey, open your eyes, open your ears. They talking junk about you down here. All right. Of truth, Lord, the kings of Syria had laid waste all the nations in their countries. So Hezekiah keeping him 100 with the Father, like, yeah, Father. The truth, King of Syria been doing his thing down here. He been murking all type of nations. You know what I mean? Have cast down their gods into the fire. So all they idols, he been throwing it in the fire, for they were no gods, because they idols anyway. But the work of man's hand, wood and stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now therefore, our Lord, our Yah, save us from his hands. So Hezekiah had faith in the Father. He's like, save us, Father, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Lord, even thou alone, thou only, Salakia. So Hezekiah is like, Father, save us from King Assyria so everybody have put some respect on your name again, Father. You know what I mean? People at this time was getting puffed up, thinking they were God. And that's why Hezekiah had to take that letter and spread it to the sky. Like, look here, Father. Look down and read this. Open your ears. Open your eyes. You need to read this letter for yourself. They down here talking smack about you, Abba. Once again, I want it for the newcomers. I went back to Daniel 7:9. Our Father is a black man, a black entity. He's black with woolly hair. He's the almighty power. He ain't nothing to play with, all right? He ain't with that talking junk about him. He'll pull up on you, all right? So I'm going to skip down. We're going to go to verse 33. Therefore, this said the Lord concerning the king of Syria. So he answered back. He should not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shields, nor cast a bank against it. So the Most High like, nah, bro, you ain't coming to my city. You want to mess with them other nations? Do what you do. When you play around my kids who righteous, now it's smoke with the Father. But by the way that he came, by the same shall he return. So the way he came, he gonna go right back, and should not come into the city, saith the Lord. For I would defend this city to save it for my own sake. So Most High said, I'm gonna save the city for my own sake, and for my servant David's sake, because the city of David, a mighty king I brought out earlier. All right. Then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Syrians 104,500. So that's 185,000 people, Israel. But it has something to say right there. I'm gonna leave it for later. I'm gonna read it again. Some of y'all caught it, but I got another story to explain what that verse 36 said. Then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Syrians 104,500. That's 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. I mean, they all was dead, Israel. That's what happens when you talk about the almighty power out there. That black man in the sky. He don't play that mess. These heathens about to find out again. But don't play that mess. You taught that stuff. Hezekiah showed that letter to the Father. Hey, Father, I need you to open your ears and eyes. Look what they saying down here. And he came and he showed up. He's like, all right. I see they talking that junk. Watch, I got something for him. Killed 185,000 of them. All right. So Siboney, king of Syria, departed and went and returned dwelt in Neviah. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nerish, his god, because they got their own gods, that Emelech, his sons, smote him with the sword. So he went back home and got killed by his own kids, bro. That's how the Abba get down. He killed his whole band of people, 185,000, left them dead. And then he turned around and had his own sons kill him. And they escaped into the land of Enan, and Shedon his son reigned in his stead. So I love that story, man. I like Hezekiah, man. Hezekiah, he had all the faith in the Father. He went and had a letter and brought it up to the housetops. Like, look at Father, look down and read this thing, Abba. Like, you're a little commanding, but The Father like when we come to him bold. You know what I mean? That's when you have faith in him. You could come to him bold, like, hey, we need you. If you sleep, wake up. You know what I mean? You busy, we need you to pay attention. I mean, but then the Father does stuff on his time, but that's just the faith that Hezekiah had in his father. All right. Now I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 20. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 4. For the Lord your Yah is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. All right. So I'm about to show y'all something when it was back to verse 36. So I want to read this again. Hopefully y'all take heed to what I'm about to bring out. For the Lord your Yah is he that goeth with you. So the Father says, I'm with you to fight for you. So I'm fighting for you against your enemies to save you. All right. So I'm gonna go with this story real quick. This story right here, you're gonna be tripped out. This for y'all newcomers. Pay attention, all right? Once again, we are a mighty nation because we're a mighty nation because we belong to the mighty King, Abba, and his son, Yahushua, which is the world call him Jesus. Whatever you call him, Yeshua, he's a mighty king also. And he fights for his brothers and sisters, and Abba fights for his children. So I'm gonna go to 2 Kings 6, verse 14. So this is another story. I don't know, see, it's like it. That's being stupid. My bad, Israel. This is another story that Israel was in trouble again. The heathens coming after us like usual. And I'm going to see this. This is a story you got to pay attention, Israel. All right, we're going to start at verse 14. Therefore, 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 14. Therefore sent he hither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. All right, so I think this is the king of, let me go up real quick. So I like Syrians. Okay, so now the Syrians coming after us. We always got these nations trying to kill us. And when the servant of the man of Yah was risen early, going forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how should we do? So his servant was scared, like, yo, we got these thousands of people out there. They about to kill us. So he woke up the master, like, what we gonna do? So his master was our forefather Elisha, a mighty king again. All right. Once again, Israel, we're a mighty nation. That's what Elisha says. So like it. He got to say something, you got to pay attention. And he answered, Fear not. So he told his servant, Fear not. What are you tripping for? For they that be with us are more than they that be with them. So he was like, Why are you tripping? Whoever the ones with us is way more than them. So his servant, like, what you talking about? There's just two of us. Or a couple 100,000, whoever was around. And it was probably hundreds, 200, 3,000. I don't know, a lot of heathens. So his servant, like, what are you talking about? He probably thought there was something wrong with him. Like, where are you tripping, bro? So verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. So Elisha said, Abba, I pray, Father, let him see. See what? I thought he was already looking. This is where it gets deep. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So a lot of y'all might didn't get what just happened. Elisha prayed to the Father to open up his servant spiritual eyes. All right. So I'm gonna go back to a verse real quick when I finish this to show you what I mean by that. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. So he told the Father, Hey, tell these angels to smite these people with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So it's not like Elisha told the Father what to do. It's just that Elisha had faith in the Father. He knew the Father would fight for his children that's obedient. So he's like, Hey, Abba, we need you. All right. So I'm going to show you something, what I read in Isaiah, and I went past it. It goes back to this. That's why I said I'm going to explain it later. Let's go back to Isaiah real quick. Go to verse 36. So, right, verse 36, Isaiah chapter 37, verse 36. Then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians. So, the angel of the Lord is the angels, Israel. That's for y'all new people. If I didn't say nothing on that part, we're not seeing the angels. They're around us all the time. All right. That's why Elisha had to pray and say, can you open his spiritual eyes? So, verse 36, Hezekiah and them didn't do nothing. When Deuteronomy 24 say Most High say He's with us and He fights for us, He mean it, Israel. He sends His angels to get busy. Them nations know it. These angels get busy back then for us, and they still will to this day. Then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Syrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead horses. So that's that precept. Those are angels. Hezekiah and his people didn't do nothing. Nothing, Israel. All right. So hope this was edifying, man. This was hope to uplift our people to show y'all like, man, we got to get back to who we are. We are a mighty nation, Israel. We got powers, Israel. But we only get them powers through the Father by being obedient. Okay? So go back and study this lesson. Write down the scriptures, highlight it. You know what I mean? Get your strength back, Israel. All right? We got to pick up our crown, get back off this ground. We're not going to be on the bottom for too long. All right? Just stay strong. Keep enduring. Keep keeping the commandments. Stay in the book as much as possible, Israel. And read these stories. And realize how your forefathers and foremothers got down. They was mighty. And see how the Father really protects his children. He protects his children who's obedient. All right? So I'm going to leave y'all with one scripture. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 28. So this is the Apocrypha. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. All right? So we got to strive for the truth unto death. I mean, yeah, we're going to have to die for this truth. But the Most High going to revenge our death, Israel, unto death. Stay strong in these commandments. Stay strong, fighting your flesh unto death. And the Father will avenge us. All right? These heathens, yeah, they might kill us, but that don't mean nothing. Because He's going to avenge us. All right? So I hope this lesson was edifying. I hope y'all enjoyed it to see how a mighty nation we are. We are a mighty nation through the Father first, though. Then our big brother Yahushua. Then the angels. That's our army, Israel. All right? The weapons of ours is not carnal. We have the angels, it's spiritual. We have literally the cheat code fighting. We have the unfair fight. You know what I mean? Because the Father loves Israel so much. We don't have to worry about these militaries coming at us. We have angels watching us 24/7, protecting us 24/7. All right, Israel? So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week and stay strong in these commandments. All right. Don't let this world distract you. All right. Don't let this world take your crown away. Stay in the book as much as possible. Read these stories as much as possible. All right. Try to feed your spirit more than your flesh. Because these scriptures are talking to your spirit. That's the one with the power, with the strength. All right. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Shalom.